welcome to It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams, and I'm your host. And to my right and to your left, of course, is Julia Perciasepe. Hello, Julia. How are you?
Good. You're almost going to say my last name there.
I know it. Then how's everybody doing out there? Thank you for joining us, gang. We're coming to you live from our beautiful studios here at BNN-TV, and you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're at 617-708-3290. Dave and the great staff of BNN are in the other room answering the phone. So if you want to give us a call, let us know what's going on in your community or your life in general. Artfully, give us a blast. We'd love to hear from you. So how are you?
I'm good.
How was your week off? Well, you don't get a week off, do you?
No, I didn't get any time off. Well, I got Monday off.
Monday off, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, so that was nice.
Yeah, a nice long weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to work a little closer with my orchard garden kids. I mean, I was out of Sacred Heart, so it was nice to. It's nice to take a break and be able to, you know, clear the cobwebs a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But we've actually signed on for a new project at Low Budget Records, which we're very, very excited about. We're bringing in some new musicians.
Nice.
We're actually going to have a phenomenal session drummer from the New England area who's played everywhere. He's been on The Tonight Show. He's done this. He's done that. He's been around a lot.
So what's
be working with us. You're not going to believe the project we're doing. We're covering country songs from the 30s and 40s.
Nice.
Old Carter family stuff.
Americana.
A little Americana. Roots. Some really roots
nice.
Songs.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. And Dr. X has come up with this premise, and everyone goes, "Oh, country music." But let me tell you something. It's not as simple.
No, the older stuff is so good.
There's so much great stuff to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Carter family, who kind of wrote the book on how to do this, June Carter and all those guys. There's some very intricate stuff in there.
Yeah.
But the drummer that we're going to be working with, we're very, very happy. David Roy is going to actually sit in session with us, which is going to be a big, exciting thing. Andy Hollinger is signed on to do guitar work. Ruby Bird from the great Bird Mancini are going to be there, and Tim and I. So we're
what a crowd.
We're very, very excited about that.
So you're just going to record and...
We're going to record a bunch of songs, and then we're going to edit everything down. We'll probably be releasing a CD sometime this summer.
And any live shows
in the
works?
We're starting to line those up now, so that you go out and you promote this. You know, you promote the CD, you buy a couple of thousand, you get rid of them, and then you move on to something new.
Very
cool. That's kind of been our premise of doing things. But that's kind of what's new at Low Budget Records. How about yourself?
Nice.
Anything interesting?
I've had a couple of artful encounters the past couple weeks. I went to the ICA and saw the
Beautiful room, isn't it?
Nick Cave and William Kentridge exhibits. Have you checked those out
Not familiar.
at all?
No. Tell me about it.
Oh my gosh, so amazing. Well, Nick Cave, I mean, he's a big name, and he has these I think they're either sound suits or soundscapes, but they're these amazing, intricate, I wouldn't call them even costumes. They're installations. They're just amazing, and he has such a creative mind. And so I was really impressed with that exhibit. And then there's the artist William Kentridge, who's they're polar opposites in what they do. But the ICA, they're one side of their exhibit hall had been closed for a while, and I was so surprised to see it open, and it's this huge exhibit. And you know, the first room, I don't want to give it all away because it's quite the experience.
We got to tease them in there.
Yeah, it's quite the experience, but you walk in and you see a normal gallery room, and then you walk into the next room, and it's very cool. You got to check it out.
That's when the excitement starts.
Yeah, that's where the excitement is. Yeah, it's very cool.
I love the ICI. I love that side of the building that's kind of hanging out over the harbor, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been to a concert there.
Sure.
With the glass.
Yeah, I'm sure it's beautiful.
So cool.
That's part of the collapsible area, right? They can make that into a bigger area than it is, or is it always that narrow hallway-ish type thing?
No, I think they can move, or they can
move the
manipulate the
do you go museuming often?
When there's something I want to see.
Yeah. Have you been to the Isabel Gardner lately?
Not lately. I think it's been like
there.
at least 6 months since I've been there.
Then you've been to the new wing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful over there. We're planning a trip for our kids. We're going to take them over to hang around in there. You know what else is coming? Was there anything else? No, we'll take turns. There's a cool event coming up this Thursday, I believe it is, the 27th. Is Thursday the 27th?
Oh gosh, today's the 24th.
I think it is.
25th, 26th, 27th? Yeah, sure.
Thursday the 27th at Haley House on 12 Dale Street over in Roxbury. They are having an opening reception for Jared Leeds. Jared Leeds is an amazing photographer. I've happened in there a couple of times last week because I was getting breakfast there because I was teaching over in the area. And I saw the portraits on the wall, and he does great portraiture work. And there's these big, huge, and they're having a reception over there on the 27th. So make sure if you're in the area, drop by. And it's from 5:30 to 7. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be dropping in and spending some time over there at the reception on Thursday. So please come by and say hello. Jared would love to see you. So we're going to start talking a little bit more about Haley House. I know it's one of the places you talked about. They have an open mic type thing happening. Yeah. And but I was in there just getting a breakfast sandwich, you know, because I said, you know, I've been in before, but I hadn't really spent any time in there. I started looking around. And I saw this really elaborate lighting system, and I'm saying to myself, wow, that brought me to the art. And I went, wow. And so we're going to try and partner with them a little bit where we can announce some of their events and stuff and get some of the artists in here.
Yeah. That would be great.
I think that's, I'm not taking over Julia's world.
I don't know.
You know, I'm not stepping in there where I don't belong.
No, that's great.
But I think it's a good idea to...
they have good programming.
They do, and I think they do some great stuff there.
Yeah.
What else is happening?
I saw Witness Uganda.
Yes. Oh, tell me about that. How was that?
I know you were very curious about it. It was awesome. It was a very interesting theatrical experience. So it wasn't, I mean, it was a musical at the ART. So right there, you know that it's going to be something different than, you know, traditional theater. But the way they used the set and the music was just incredible.
Was there a live band?
Yes, a live band. The singers were amazing. It was a lot of African-inspired music. Yep. They had African dancing. So it was just kind of all of your senses were just kind of taken over. And the acting was great, and the story is based on a true story. It's about a young man who kind of escapes some things in the U.S. and goes to Uganda to kind of build a school, and comes to learn that, you know, aid work is not, you know, all the, you know, it's not...
Everything it's chopped up to be?
Not everything is chopped up to be, but it's not as a pretty picture as
no, it can be very
people
ugly.
Paint it. Yeah, so he comes to face some of those realities, and yeah, it was very interesting. There was a discussion afterwards and everything with the
How was the crowd? Was there a good sized people there?
Sold out. Shows are being sold out.
They're still going on?
Yeah.
Where is it now?
Yeah, at the American Repertory Theater in Harvard Square on Brattle Street.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Very exciting.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like we've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been doing some cool things.
Yeah.
We've got a great show tonight. Speaking of acting, yes.
I know.
Very excited about this. But it's only one of the hats we're going to peel off of our guest this evening. It's going to be, we're going to have some fun tonight. And you can remember, folks, you can call in and join us. You can give us a call at 617-708-3290. But you can also send us a tweet if you'd like. We are at It's All About Arts, right? If you go to It's All About Arts, there it is. It's All About Arts right on your tweet. And if you want, am I saying it right? I'm saying it right.
You're saying tweet, but you said all on your tweet.
I'm an old man. Just look at me. But also, this show is going to be up tomorrow on our homepage on YouTube, which is It's All About Arts 1. If you go to It's All About Arts 1, you get to see all of our... And there is a show on there that we've just put up that is from 13 or 14 years ago. That is a an eye-opener. It's a pretty cool show from back in the old studio. So we'd love you to get on and check parts of that show out. Tell us what you think of it. We've been on this station for quite a while now, so I think that it's been a lot of fun, and we're enjoying it. We're not going to give up. We're going to stick with it. We've got another cool thing that's coming up very, very soon, and BNN has been talking about doing a gallery, doing an art gallery. And of course, you know us, we had to get involved in it and what have you. So they're actually going to have their receptions on Monday evenings. And the very, very first one is going to be in, hold on, I have it right here. It's the South End artists are going to be here in April, but in, how come I can't find it? Right there it is. The BNN-TV Gallery, South End. It's going to be the 7th of April. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be hanging out from different communities and stuff, and we're going to be meeting the artists here. We might even try and take a peek out during the reception.
We'll do some live coverage.
Yes, because the place is going to be jammed with people, so we're going to take advantage of all of that. That's one of the things. The other thing that I do want to talk about, and I try to take every opportunity that I can to do it, is good friends that keep us on the air here. We're very, very fortunate to have a partner in the Boston Main Streets organization. Boston Main Streets is a volunteer-driven organization that helps revitalize business districts around the city of Boston. One of the things they do is they work with the property owners that are anxious to put a business in their storefront down on the ground level, and what they do is they do all of their demographic information. They help them with all of the paperwork and stuff to get them into the building. Then once they're in there, there is a design committee that helps to make sure that they look like they should look to become, part of the community. And then there's a promotions committee that runs events down there, your farmers markets, concerts in the area, things like that, the taste of Dedham, not Dedham, the taste of the South End, taste of West Roxbury, to bring people into the business district so they can discover this new business that's there. So we're really, really appreciative of our partnership with them. It's been long and it's been fruitful. We're very, very supportive of them as they are of us. And so if you see an event going on someplace and you want to see somebody in a Main Streets t-shirt, thank them for the work that they do, because they're only doing it because they love their community just like you do. So we want to say thank you to them. The other thing I like to get into is this building that we're in, BNN-TV. BNN-TV is an opportunity for you to do your own TV programming. Let's say you have a nonprofit out there that you've been working on and been trying to get the word out, get people interested in it. What you do is you come here to BNN-TV and you do a program just like this one, where you can bring in your own guests, where people can call in and ask questions, people get involved in your programming, and it's your chance to get your mission statement out there all over the place. Because we stream live. This is streaming. We have people in upstate New York. We have people over in Wisconsin that are watching the show. I know there's people down in New York. There's a bunch of them down there. We want to thank everybody for being part of this program. And you're watching us right now, streaming live. So this is the way to get your mission statement out there. If you go to www.bnntv.org and click on Janice Williams' name or Jim Atwood's name, those are the cats that kind of know everything about what's going on here at BNN, and they can help you get on air. There's two sides of BNN. There's this side called News and Information. Then there's the other side called Access. On the other side, you join as a member. You take some Final Cut Pro classes, some sound classes, some lighting classes, how to use these amazing cameras, how to do hosting, how to do all of that kind of shot location outside. And then you bring it back and you edit it in our great Timothy Smith computer lab downstairs with all of the greatest equipment available. Then what happens is you edit it, you put it on TV, and they show it. This is the place to come and get that kind of thing. This is your station. It's your opportunity to come and do some stuff here. So like I said, www.bnntv.org gets you to all of that cool information. And us live right now. So if you have somebody that wants to check us out from some other part of the city or some other part of the state or someplace else, please let them know how to do it. Okay? Enough of that. So anything else I need to know?
No.
You got a Julia's World episode?
We do.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, very excited. I love this Julia's World thing they're doing. It's a new segment, and it's something new that we've brought up. We're really excited about it.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been getting some responses about it. Yeah, people like it. Yeah, they think it's kind of cool. It's nice to show different, you know.
Yeah, I want people to call in their events or tweet us their events. Let us know what's going on.
Yes, that's how you get on Julia's world. Right there. That's the information right there.
You have to help me find you.
Yeah, we're here for you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, gang, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with Julia's World. Listen, thank you very much. You are watching BNN-TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn. This is Julia to my right. And we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with our guest. Please do not go away. Thank you.
Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. Learning is more than getting good grades. It is learning about yourself, others, and the world in which you live. This learning will help you to make good judgments and serves as the basis of wisdom. Learning is a lifelong process of growth and challenges. A process that should never end.
Well, welcome back, gang. Thanks an awful lot for hanging out with us and hanging in there, and welcome back. You are watching BNN-TV's It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn, and now it is time for our feature. We're very, very excited to have with us on Julia's World. We're going to be doing a segment with Julia, so hang in there, gang. This is Julia's World.
Thanks, Glenn. Welcome to Julia's World. I'm going to start out with something for all the visual artists out there. The Arts and Business Council of Greater Boston, which is an amazing organization and resource here in Boston for any kind of artist. They are holding 2 workshops on March 1st. The first is called Exhibition Ready, and that is from 10:30 to 12. And then the second is Artists and Galleries, What Artists Should Know, 1 to 3:30 o'clock. And those both are, one is kind of about what you should know to prepare for your gallery opening or gallery exhibit. And the second one is, how do you find a gallery that wants to exhibit your work? And there'll be some guest speakers. And so if you're thinking of having an upcoming exhibit, check it out. It might be something that's worthwhile for you. If you're a member there, the workshops are fairly cheap. They're about $10. If you're not, they're $25. But you should register earlier than later because they're coming up real fast. Second, the Somerville Theater is celebrating its centennial. It opened in 1914, which is pretty impressive for an independent theater, and we need to all do our part in supporting those independent theaters because they are fading fast. But the Somerville Theater has some great upcoming special programming and some really classic films that are coming up. This weekend, they are playing the famous film Citizen Kane and also Casablanca, and I think we're going to show just a brief trailer of Citizen Kane for those of you who may not know it, but here you go, check it out.
Charles Foster Kane is...
Sure, he started the war. But do you think if it hadn't been for Mr. Kane, the United States would have the Panama Canal?
Charles Foster Kane is nothing more or less than a communist.
Kane, governor. Listen, when the voters of this state and Mrs. Kane learn what I found out about Mr. Kane and a certain little blondie named Susan Alexander, he couldn't be elected dog catcher. I'm going to skin Mr. Charles Foster Kane alive.
I'm going to marry him next week at the White House.
Emily, I hear you've been stepping out with Charlie Kane.
Of course I love him. I gave him $60 million.
Well, of course I love him. He's the richest man in America.
There you go, that was great. A little preview for you. And then they also have some special events, not just films. They have some concerts, and also the Irish Film Festival is upcoming. So I'm going to be giving you updates on that as we move forward. Lastly, the Society of Arts and Crafts, which is a really interesting organization over on, they have a gallery over on Newbury Street, has an exhibition right now that ends April 19th. Floral Fictions, recent work by Jessica Calderwood. And she has these amazing sculptures and jewelry that combine flower and botanical forms with fragments of human bodies, so they're kind of whimsical and cool. Again, the gallery is located on Newbury Street, so go check it out, and that ends April 19th. And in addition, the Society of Arts and Crafts always has what is called Craft Boston at the Cyclorama in the South End, and they have one upcoming in early April. So mark your calendars for that. And lastly, I just want to say, a while back I said that I was going to feature artists that were commenting on climate change and the environment, but I'm having trouble finding things. So artists out there, think about your subjects and your topics and maybe do something about the environment for me, please, and the world. That's all I have for you today. Back to you, Glenn.
Thank you, Julia. That's great. Very, very cool. Very, very exciting. That's true, though. If you guys out there have anything to contribute to Julia, please remember the way to get to us is to go to your Twitter, and we are at It's All About Arts. Is how to get us here, and please, there it is right there. If you want to tweet us something and tweet Julia some information about what your art is being or what you'd like to have featured in Julia's world. And with that being said, right now, it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce you and bring to our set Erica Derrikson.
Erica Derrikson, you got it.
Erica, how are you? Welcome to It's All About Arts. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Did you find us okay?
Yeah, I've been to this building before.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I've been on the John Fahey show about 3 times.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, John's a great guy.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad that I'm glad you found your way to our program.
Yeah, me too.
Hope John doesn't get upset with us.
It's okay.
Good or not.
It's a non-exclusive agreement I have with John.
Good. That's the best to have.
Yeah.
You're an actress, but you're also the founder of a very, very interesting organization, East Coast Actors.
Almost. It's called Hollywood East Actors Group.
Hollywood East Actors.
It's a Facebook-based group. It's online. You know, harnessing the power of social media, the fact that everyone's there already all day, and it's essentially a group to support New England actors and filmmakers who are making it happen here at home in New England. It's a place where we have over 7,000 members at this point. People go there to find auditions, to learn about projects that are going on, to meet people, to make friends, just to get advice. You know, this is, especially when it comes to like acting and filmmaking. A lot of people want to get involved, but they don't know how to. They don't know how to get started. They don't know where to go, what to do next, who to talk to.
Right.
And so our group, it's a free resource, and it's essentially kind of like a stepping stone for people who want to get involved in the industry or who are already in the industry and just want to get more connected to the community.
What's the address? Is it a Facebook page?
Yeah, it's a Facebook group. It's called Hollywood East Actors Group.
Okay.
If you search on Facebook for me or for the group, you can find it. I'm really easy to find online. That's kind of my thing, is social media. So if you just if you look for Erica Derrikson online,
Is it just for people who want to work in solenoid, or is it people on the stage too? Is it is it all kind of actors?
Exactly, it's all kind of actors. You have film actors, you have stage actors, you have union actors, non-union actors.
That's another thing I was going to ask. Is it union?
It encompasses essentially anyone and everyone involved in this local industry. New England, and that includes Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, some New York, but there are other groups that focus on New York. We're really about keeping the business here, keeping talent here, and encouraging the growth of the film industry here, because I'm a person who well, honestly, I'm just lazy and I don't want to have to move to New York or LA. So I just want to build it. I just want to build it here.
Is New York, I've heard it said, I could be wrong, that if you really want to be serious about it, you got to go to New York.
Sure. Well, that's a great question, and in some ways, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of opportunity in New York. There's a lot of business in New York, and it has been that way for a while. New York and LA are long-standing hubs of this industry. However, I also see that changing. I see that the industry is changing as it becomes sort of decentralized. The power is no longer in the big. Well, there's a lot of power in big studios. Don't get me wrong there. But I see that our industry and our world and the way that content and media is being consumed, it's becoming radically different than what it once was. I mean, if you think about it, movie studios have only been around for 90 years.
Right.
The internet has only been around for 18 years. We're still at the beginning of a transformation in the way that
learning how to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I'm teaching a social media class. We'll tell you about that later.
Okay.
So yes, Boston is becoming a new player on the scene, and I foresee a lot of change happening here in this industry. With the opening of the New England studios out in Fort Devens.
Yes.
Now we have our own movie studio here in Boston.
That was to draw some of the left coast people over here.
Exactly. Well, the problem with filming in Massachusetts and New England is great. The problem is with the weather. It makes it very limited, the experience. You can have. Well, not just the weather, but where you can shoot indoors versus outdoors has been an issue for filmmakers. And originally they were just doing their interior scene. They were coming for the outdoors scenes here in New England, and then they were doing their interiors in a studio in a different location, whether they're transforming a warehouse here or they're taking that production to Los Angeles or another state. Now that's shifting because now we have our own movie studios, the New England studios. We have, they're going to be total 4 sound stages. And there are further development, levels of development. They're going to be.
That's a big place out there.
Yeah, it's very big.
It's a lot of room.
Very big. A lot of
There's
room.
an Air Force base for crying out loud.
Exactly. Yeah. So the studio is built. It's up and running now. The phase 1 is complete. I believe there are 4 phases of construction. So we're just at the beginning of it.
Well, that's
so when you say that, yeah, should a serious actor move to New York? Maybe. But I'm a serious actor, and I choose to stay here in Boston and build it here in Boston because I believe that we have a wealth of resources here. And I think that we have a wealth of talent and good people with strong New England work ethics. Exactly, exactly. We are Hollywood East.
So if I get it, my understanding now is that if I'm an actor and I'm not necessarily struggling as much as maybe want to compare notes and to communicate with other like-minded people and stuff, this is a great place to go.
Absolutely, it's the best place to go in New England. If you want to get connected to, the people who are doing it, in the trenches, this is the place to go.
Well, what we'll do is we'll link that up to our website so that people can just click your name and maybe it'll go right there.
Exactly.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, you're an actress. I mean, this is obviously why you're kind of involved in this. Let me see. What kind of an actress are you?
Ooh, what a great question.
I mean, you're a great actress. Let's get that part out of the way. Right? But
goes without saying.
Romantic comedy? Are you drama? Are you horror? I don't see you do much horror.
Oh, I did do one horror film called The Witching Hour. And that one, that one was actually one of my best credits to date. It was Michael Madsen was in it, Tony Todd, William Forsythe.
Oh, wow.
There's some rumors.
You didn't get teared to pieces or anything, opening act or something?
I can't tell you, I can't tell you those details, but it is going to be kind of an interesting premiere.
Oh, it's still to come.
It's still to come. It hasn't been released yet.
This is
which is exciting.
This is exciting.
Oh yeah, I mean I have a lot of projects that are still in the works.
Hey, what else have you done?
Well, I was in The Heat alongside Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock.
That's cool.
There's a scene where Melissa McCarthy, when she's first introduced in the movie. Have you seen it?
No, but I will now.
When you watch it, there's a scene when Melissa McCarthy is first introduced. She's busting a dude for picking up a hooker.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm that hooker. I'm that hooker.
The things we do for our art, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. There's a lot of students out there watching this show.
Yeah.
They really they tune in here for these kinds of conversations. What goes into that cattle call thing?
Well, there are a lot of different kinds of auditions.
Especially on that level. I mean, if you're going to be standing next to Sandra Bullock, what do you got to do to get there?
That's a great question. There's a lot of misconceptions about it, about how you get auditions and how you get to a role like that. The way that I got to The Heat was it was an audition. It was the very first audition that I got through my agent that I had just signed. I had just signed with this agency called Model Club in Boston. But the only reason, rewind a little bit further, the only reason they signed me was because I came in there with great headshots, with a great resume, because I've been working my ass off for a while already. So I came in there with a work ethic and already having done the student project. So how do you get to that level? You start with a blank piece of paper, a blank resume, and a desire to do it. Then next thing you do is you get headshots. Next thing you do is ideally you get into an acting class, and what that does is not only does it cultivate your craft, but it also introduces you to people in local industry who are doing it. Some of my best work came from people that I met in class who referred me to a filmmaker they knew. Right. One comes to mind is William Diekoff. I met him in my first class at Boston Casting about 2 winters ago, and he referred me to a guy named Raja Samaru, who was casting a film called Melt. It was this beautiful independent short film that was filmed in Rhode Island last summer. It was my first big project, and that came from a class. So get a headshot, get into class, start talking to people, finding out what resources are there, like Hollywood East Actors Group, become involved on social media. So one thing that's so great about being an actor in Boston is there's so many opportunities. I love this. There's so many opportunities to act in Boston because of the wealth of schools that we have here.
Wow.
Emerson Film School, Amazing, amazing school. Boston University, even Harvard has like film programs.
Sure they do.
So there's no shortage of opportunities to get on set and get experience, which is the most important thing for anyone wanting to start out. So take any jobs you can, which are mostly going to be, at the beginning, a lot of like crappy student projects where you're going to stand around for hours and wonder why you're there. But, you're going to get pieces of experience, and, you're going to build relationships. I always tell people, if you really want to be an actor, cultivate relationships, pursue relationships, not auditions. Because if you're pursuing auditions,
is it who you know?
It's not who you know. It's who cares about you and who you care about. It's I don't want to say it's easy to distinguish yourself, but it's almost easy to distinguish yourself in an industry where everybody just wants something and everybody's asking for something. If you become the person who is cultivating relationships and thinking in terms of, all right, how can I help these people around me, which is what I did when I started the group. That was essentially
someone in the fold's going to say, I know somebody.
Exactly, just because as a result of just being the one who's always there and always helping and who's involved and showing up to meetings, the Massachusetts Production Coalition, Women in Film, there's so many opportunities to get involved.
Has acting always been something you want to do? I mean, were you Dorothy in your high school?
No. Okay, so yes, acting is something I always wanted to do. Is it something I always did? No. In fact, I made more excuses than took actions. In fact, I always wanted to act, but I never put into words because I didn't think anyone would believe in me. I thought that it would immediately encounter resistance, like, oh, that's cute.
What bolt of lightning came down and changed that?
Oh, that's cute. Well, what bolt of lightning? It was I couldn't take it anymore. I would watch movies and I would see young women who fit my description, and they would make me angry because it pointed out this great, what is it, when there's something that's really wrong?
Disservice.
Yes, kind of. It pointed
injustice.
Yes, it pointed out this great injustice in my life, that there was something that I felt called to do that I wasn't doing. And so I took a huge leap of faith, and one thing led to another. I ended up quitting my job
that's tough.
almost 2 years ago, and then just dove headfirst into it.
That's great.
But now I realize that there's a lot I could have done while I had a job. There's a lot that goes on in this industry.
I'm sure that there's theater groups, there's classes, there's just getting the experience.
Auditions on the weekends. A lot of projects are shot on the weekends.
Is it unfair to call them cattle calls? Is that something?
Well, there are different kinds of auditions. A cattle call, what I would refer to a cattle call, is when it's an open call. There's no screening process. A lot of times, so we held auditions in our studio this weekend. It wasn't for my project, it was for a friend of ours. And what they did beforehand is they had people submit their headshots and resumes. So you kind of pick who you want to come in and audition.
So you cull it out a bit?
There are other auditions that are video submissions where you don't come in, maybe you can come in person, but you submit a video of you doing a monologue, or maybe they give you a scene to perform. And so that's another way of doing an audition. And now, actually, in the way that the industry is changing and it's becoming decentralized from Los Angeles, now video auditions are becoming more prevalent.
I would think so,
because the work is not being done necessarily in Los Angeles. Sure, a lot of it is still being cast in Los Angeles, but it's shifting. It's shifting now.
Well, it's the same thing that's happened to the music business. I mean, it used to be that I'd have to spend all kinds of money to go into this studio to record. We're recording in my basement now, and I mean, you do a little work and stuff like that, but kids are recording in their bedrooms.
Absolutely. It's an incredibly empowering time to be an artist,
it really is.
Because we're no longer waiting for some big entity like a studio or a record label or an agent, come and validate us.
Right.
We can validate ourselves. We can build our own audiences. That's something that I'm doing now. I've started a daily video blog series. It's because I want to build my own audience. I want to share who I am, and I want to find the people who dig what I'm doing.
Is that a YouTube address?
It is a YouTube address. You can find me on YouTube. I'm really easy to find online. Erica Derrikson. I don't have ericaderrikson.com, I wish, but someone took it. And that's also the importance of, if you are an artist or content creator, you need to buy your website domain name as soon as possible.
Get it up,
Because not even do you get a site up, just own that parking spot online, Whether or not you bought the car yet, just get the spot before someone else does, Someone bought my site, so I have to be creative about what I...
You mentioned so you'd cull through these headshots. So if an artist rendition of a headshot showed up, you would probably put that over on this side?
Well, that's not a professional headshot.
Well, what is a professional headshot?
A professional headshot.
And where do I go to get them?
Exactly. Well, so when most people start out in acting, they make the same mistake that everyone makes, that I made too, is you don't want to invest in any money. So you just go to your friend who's a photographer and you have them take a picture, or you have your mom take a picture, or you take a selfie with a phone. And you see the most atrocious prestigious thing. And what that tells casting people, what that tells anyone who's in the industry is that you don't take this seriously. You're an amateur, you're just beginning, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
So what people need to do is they need to see a professional photographer who has experience in headshots, who is not a wedding photographer, who's not an event photographer.
No, someone who's a portrait photographer.
Not necessarily even a portrait photographer.
Really?
Who is a headshot photographer. Because
What's the difference?
Well, good question.
Portrait
so
and headshot.
I am a headshot photographer. That's what I do for a living. That's one of the things I do. I run a headshot studio and also an acting studio with some partners. So a headshot is a specific tool to show casting directors and the decision makers in our industry what you look like, what characters you can portray, and a good headshot, can come as a pair of headshots. It can show a range, For you, I would want a headshot that shows you sort of like as a scruff, almost detective, police officer,
Right.
someone you'd see that and be like, oh yeah, this guy, solves crimes.
Yeah.
And then maybe I would have another headshot that shows you more of like a, happy teacher figure. Imagine that, someone who has maybe more of a comical side. So
Right.
those two pictures, those are very distinct tools that you would use to submit yourself that would then be called in from the casting directors. So people do themselves a great disservice by not investing in the right tools.
Why do I see some headshots in black and white and some in color?
There are different trends that have changed over the years. There are East Coast trends, there are West Coast trends. Now it's predominantly color.
Yeah.
A lot of like horizontal with a little bit of a cutoff over the head. And those change. Sometimes studio lighting is all the rage. Sometimes it's the environmental
Right,
portraits that
right.
are all the rage. But one thing that you'll find in this industry is that everyone has a different opinion. So for me, what I do is I specialize in just creating headshots that capture that fire, that unique spark in a person's eyes, because that's what I don't want to say what you're selling, but that's your product,
That's what
and
you're
that's
selling.
what you want to get out there.
Absolutely are
Yeah.
selling yourself.
I would say that some people are uncomfortable with those terms, but the reality is that this is a business, and the people who want to get into acting, who want to get into filmmaking, need to realize, the sooner they realize that they're in business and they need certain business tools, the sooner that they'll find success and they'll have more opportunities.
And it's not always just a pretty face.
No, and that's the beautiful thing about acting is we don't need a bunch of pretty 20-year-olds.
Right.
We need everybody. We need the big fat guy. We need the little petite Asian girl. We need
Yeah.
that range because we're storytellers.
The scruffy detective
the
looking kind.
The scruffy detective, and it's because we're storytellers, and
Right.
stories. You need all sorts of good characters to tell a story. If you're going to tell any good story.
Yeah.
So, and that's also the beautiful thing is that you can get into it at any age. It's not a matter of, I held myself back for a long time. I didn't want to get into it because I didn't do any theater, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't have this, and so I didn't,
Is theater the root? One of the roots?
No, and see that's the thing is there's so many paths up the mountain, and each person has to find their own. All you have to do is have the desire and connect with the right people, and surround yourselves with people who are empowering, who are making things happen, and who want to help one another. And that's something that I've done. I've surrounded myself with those kinds of people. I've surrounded myself with other young people in business. Now I run two businesses that are ancillary to my passion. So I don't make money from acting per se. I mean, occasionally you'll get a job here and there, but it's not about the money for me. What I do to support myself are the ancillary businesses that run around that acting.
Well, you're still in the business.
But I'm still in the business because I have taken myself seriously. I have identified the needs of the people around me. I have found a way to create value for others in a way that's marketable and that is valuable.
Is it getting in the way of putting you in the shot?
No, absolutely not. Everything that I do, it's really integrated. Everything sort of feeds one another. I don't need every single job. I mean, I'm constantly saying no to jobs. And
So if
constantly
Ron Howard came along, the heck with the brownie that you're taking people's pictures with, right?
What?
So if Ron Howard came along and wanted to put you in one of his movies, and everyone else gets canceled?
No, I mean, if you wanted to put me in one of his movies, I'd be psyched. That'd be great. And I'm sure I would go through the same casting process as everybody else, and that would have nothing to do with my headshot business. The only difference is that I would see a bunch of people in the waiting room who have headshots done by me.
Oh,
like,
really?
hey, looks good.
Hey, looks good as you walk by.
Yeah, nice to see you in action. But for me, I'm not competitive at all. Like I regularly help other 20s blonde actresses.
But the goal for you is
the goal is to do what I love.
Which is that Ron Howard feature.
No, not necessarily.
Really?
Maybe what I would love to do is create my own web series. Maybe what I would, and here's the thing, is that success means a lot of different things to different people. Just being given a big movie role is not what I want.
Oh,
I want to
okay.
create my own success. I want to create an audience that loves me.
Is directing something you want to do?
No, yes and no. I mean, I've done a little bit of producing, but directing, I'm not sure that that's the leadership role that I would want to take in a production, unless it was my production.
What do those words mean? The director, I know what the director is. He yells at people and
Yeah.
But the producer, there's this guy. There's
Sure.
what does the producer
So
do?
a director directs, an actor acts, a producer
produces? Yeah. What is
so to me, a producer is someone who really connects the dots, who is able to get the resources together in a line so the director can do his job.
Okay.
You know,
So he
essentially
doesn't have to worry about
the
that.
producer does everything so everyone else can do their job, you know? And the producer just hooks it all up and makes the connections and helps be the momentum that keeps it together and keeps it moving forward so you can get to the point where the director can be standing.
That's why his
directing the
name is
actors.
pretty big on the roll.
Exactly.
Too, right?
Producers are very, very important.
Yeah.
You know, nothing would happen without producers. And most of the time, a lot of very good producers are women. We have a lot of very good women in this industry. You know, strong directors. You know, Kate Carson is a name that comes to mind.
I don't even think about it that way. Of course, there's got to be.
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Right.
A lot of the movers and shakers in this industry are women. Margie Sullivan is the president of the Massachusetts Production Coalition. You know, Carol Patton is the publisher of Imagine magazine.
No.
You know, we have just Lisa Strout. She's the head of the Massachusetts Film Office. Women.
Would a connection with you be someplace where somebody with that kind of hook song should be played during the rollout at the end of a movie? You know, like, as the movie is rolling out, there's always some rock song or something, some song going on.
Yeah, so definitely. I think there's a huge opportunity to connect
right now, it's
musicians
Reverb Nation. They're going to Reverb
filmmakers.
Nation, or they're going to Our Stage, which is a production site on, you know, Reverb Nation is its own, and they have these opportunities. Submit your song for this. There's a movie coming. There's this. There's that. A commercial coming. To submit your songs. But is there a part of the industry that really concerns themselves just with that music?
No.
Not scores. I'm not talking about the score. I'm talking about.
I'm not totally 100% able to answer that
Okay.
question fully myself.
Okay.
But I do know that there are a lot of efforts being made right now to connect the music and film world. And I'm sure soon I'll have more to say about that, but at this moment,
But when you come back.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because a lot of the songs that I hear that I fall in love with, I watch the movie all the way to the end. Not only because sometimes they throw some funny stuff at the end, but also because
like
of
the Avengers, the falafel scene, or the shawarma scene, right?
People miss all that.
Love the shawarma.
You know, but that whole music thing, I've discovered a lot of musicians and a lot of songs that way. You know, and I think that's.
It's a great question.
Yeah, that's where I'd want to
learn more. Expand.
Erica, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, Glenn, for having me.
It's been great having you.
It's been a pleasure.
Listen, you got to come back.
Sure.
Okay, and this seems like there's a lot to talk about here.
Yeah.
And bring you had someone that was going to come.
Yeah, I was going to
bring. But I scared them off. What happened again? No, I'm only
Yeah. Can I just say if people want to get in contact with me?
Absolutely, please.
So if you want to get in contact with me, you can find me on Facebook. You can just search my name, Erica Derrikson, or you can find me on Twitter at Erica D Actress. My branding has been, up to this point, Erica D Actress. So that's me on Twitter, that's me on Facebook. My website is presskit.to/Erica. When you guys put this online on the YouTube, I'll comment and I'll leave all of my links. So if you want to find me, just check out this show on YouTube and I'll put my links there.
I will
so you can
send
find
it to you tomorrow. It'll be up at 3 tomorrow afternoon.
Sweet. I'm psyched. Thanks,
it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Listen, gang, don't go away. We're going to be back in just a couple of minutes. Please, Julie will be up to end this show with us. For you are watching It's All About Arts. We'll be back in just 1 minute. I repeat, do not go away. There she is. Hammond for the camera.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
I'm an actress. What can I say?
See you standing over there.
just the other afternoon, hidden by shadows, waiting for a man, hidden from the sun, for a man that never comes, like a race that's never run. As the road widens, and it almost always will, you look upon this day. Hi gang, well, welcome back. That was a very young Glenn on the screen there. Go. Singing away. Wasn't that it? That was great, wasn't it? Interesting?
Yeah. It kind
so
of
much.
made me want to be an actress.
Give it a shot.
I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah.
Gotta have the right headshot, though.
I know. Definitely don't have that. Nor do I think I want to invest in that.
Well, that's a different part of the business than you're in.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean,
Yeah.
know,
Totally
it just seems
opposite.
like-
Yeah.
And
It's so interesting to me.
Yeah, no,
And
it
I mean,
really is.
we loosely touch bases with Mass Production Coalition, and we get Imagine at my office, and we flip through it, but it is just worlds away.
Yeah.
But I mean, Boston has a really rich, like she was saying, a really rich film scene, and even more so, I think, documentary film. And there are just a ton of resources. So she wasn't wrong in that.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like you to do is what's the website that you're at? Your outfit is, what is it?
www.der.org.
Say it again,
www.der.org. Documentary Educational Resources.
der.org, okay.
It's a mouthful, but yeah.
Because there is all of that information. There is all of that kind of,
Yeah.
Do I really look like a detective type? Scruffy detective type?
I
Columbo
think you
kinda?
could pass for that. I kind of wanted her to tell me what I would pass for.
Law and
I was
Order?
like,
I wasn't expecting that. I expected something scruffy, but
yeah.
Law and Order-ish, I suppose I could wear an overcoat.
Yeah. And I wanted her to be like, I'll take your headshot for free.
Oh, that's not going to happen, I can
You
tell
and
you.
I will be like,
Any plans this week? Anything coming up?
not that I can think of.
Yeah, I'm going to Haley House on Thursday.
Yep, that's right.
From 5:30 to 7, there's an opening there for Jared Leak, which is an incredible photographer. I'm going to be there for the opening, meet the actor, meet the photographer, and have some great food too, by the way. Amazing food and everything. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
We'll dig you next week.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Listen, gang, you've been watching It's All About Arts. My name is Glenn Williams. This is Julia Perciasepe. We have been coming to you live. Listen, you can check out this show tomorrow at YouTube. If you go to It's All About Arts 1, you're going to be able to check this show out this time tomorrow. Listen, gang, we'll get out there and do something artful for yourself. And like I like to say every week, please keep in the forefront of your minds our mothers, fathers, sons and daughters, aunts and uncles, nieces and nephews on foreign soil. Please remember them in your thoughts, and we'll dig you next time, okay? Bye-bye.